What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Again, the massive coverage on the Spider-Man Disney-Sony deal continues. We've been going back and forth on whether or not the communication between Disney and Sony has completely ceased or not. And it's likely that for some time the deal actually did, with Disney going back to the drawing board. It's even been heavily rumored that Disney had major plans for Spider-Man to lead in the next version of the Avengers in the MCU, hand in hand with Black Widow and Captain Marvel, and that together they would sort of form the new trinity of the Avengers, despite the exceptionally young age of Peter Parker. We also reported on that Sony was actually willing to make a deal with Marvel. However, they were only going to give them 30% of the profits, and they wanted Venom to enter the MCU, with them being able to attain all of the revenue that Venom generated, a deal that Marvel would ultimately decline. There were also rumors and conjecture that Apple, if they did in fact buy Sony, the rights to Spider-Man would completely go back to Marvel and Disney, which is in fact accurate. However, this is a process that could take up to a year to complete once they actually start the deal, as there's a ton of stuff that would actually need to be handed over from Sony to Apple. But this leads us directly into today's video. Apparently, Sony and Disney are talking one more time to negotiate a different deal. This time with, instead of Disney and Sony wanting to make a deal about sharing the rights to the Spider-Man character, Disney wants to buy Spider-Man outright. Apparently, this was an option that was briefly explored in an earlier meeting, but Sony wanted $10 billion to the rights of the Spider-Man character. Just for a reference, in 2017, Marvel as a whole, that being the MCU, had grossed just over $10 billion, meaning that basically the amount that Sony wants for Spider-Man is astronomical and way overboard. And although obviously Marvel and Disney declined this offer of $10 billion for Spider-Man, the talks are not over, as it's likely that Disney will then go back at Sony with another offer now that some time has passed, to actually purchase the Spider-Man character outright. Again though, this is absolutely a long shot on behalf of Disney, but it's clear that the MCU really needs Spider-Man and that Disney realizes that. Therefore, they will likely come back with a lower offer and then meet somewhere in the middle. What's clear though is that the Spider-Man character is definitely worth a ton of money, as Far From Home grossed over $1 billion at the box office, making it the highest grossing Spider-Man movie of all time. But again, a lot of that had to do with Spidey's involvement with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and not something that Sony themselves personally established. What is for sure though is that if ultimately Disney does want to buy Spider-Man from Sony, they will have to shell out billions for the character. In the end though, making it a multi-year, potentially a decade-long investment, which is an idea that Marvel is currently entertaining according to this report. But what are your guys' thoughts on this, and the fact that now Disney Marvel has proposed that they may actually buy Spider-Man back from Sony altogether? Do you guys think that this is the best way, therefore they don't have to go back with Sony and discuss further? Or do you think that Disney will ultimately decide not to purchase Spider-Man? At $260K, again, we'll be giving away 4 digital copies of Endgame. In order to enter that giveaway, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments below what Marvel project in Phase 4 you're the most excited for. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and have a great day.